Hey everyone, welcome back to the JB Outdoors YouTube channel. A couple years ago, my wife and I purchased this 7x16 cargo trailer behind me with the intention to create a toy hauler, or be able to haul our ATVs and then convert really quickly into a camper or such. So my intentions with this video today is to give you a tour of what we have so far. We did buy this bone stock, brand new, nothing in it, so we'll go ahead and get started. We just got back from a motorcycle trip in northern Michigan, so to get started, I'll show you how I have the bikes loaded. I currently have a road bike and a dirt bike with me, so yeah, let's go ahead. All right, so like I said, we just got back from a motorcycle trip, so there's a little bit of stuff everywhere, but in my eyes, I really wish I would have saw something like that when I was looking to build something like this, because that's kind of how everything's laid out, how everything is when you're actually using it. So let's go ahead, get started. When we first bought this trailer, it didn't come with anything for flooring except for the Drymax 3/4 subflooring that's used in these trailers that's meant to get wet. So my wife and I decided to use a vinyl, 100% vinyl waterproof flooring that you would use for your bathrooms and kitchens inside your house. So after 2 years of hauling these, we've gone through many tours of Michigan with this trailer, hauling four-wheelers, hauling motorcycles, etc. The floors held up really well. One thing that we did have to add before we could haul anything was tie downs. So there's tie downs strategically placed based off of test loading different things. I use these little D-rings that I found on Amazon. There's a couple that you can't even see. There's two in the back here too. And then there's a couple of them up front that you can't see there. But typically I'll leave the straps hooked to those and then utilize those each time in the same location. One more thing, when we first bought this, it did not have, except for one light that was located directly in the top here. So we ended up furring out the ceiling and then insulating it, and then put up this cedar shiplap, what is called a closet liner. So it smells like a cabin in here. It smells really good. You can tell it's got cedar in here as soon as you open the door. We also added the Max Air fan that's got the roof vent that's all wired to 12 volt. So I'll open that up and show you how I wired that. There's mapping of wires throughout the ceiling here. You can see that I added these 12 volt recessed lights. Those are really nice. They're just like the lights that you would use in a home, but the smaller version in 12 volts instead of 120. So these are all wired in two different series, as well as the air fan down to 12 volts. All of the wiring comes down to the corner here and then gets wired to this panel. So I've got a battery hooked up, switch the panel on, and then I've got the front cabin lights that we just turned on, as well as rear cabin lights that switches on, and then I've got a dimmer switch that would go over the bed. So I've also got a fan switch. The center one is on, And this thing really does move some air. If you end up cutting the hole in your ceiling, I think it's a 14-inch square hole. If you end up cutting your hole in the ceiling like that, you might as well go the extra mile and get the 12-volt one with the fan in it, because it makes all the difference in the world. One thing I didn't expect though was how tight these are built. I expected them to have a little bit of air movement at least, but there's a couple vents that these trailers come with. There's one here in the front of the trailer, and then there's one in the far back of the trailer right there. And then when this fan's pulling a 14-inch circle of air out of here at however many CFM this thing's rated for, when you close the door, it actually pulls a negative vacuum on the trailer itself. So the next thing that we wanted to add, especially to make it more camper feel, was some windows. These windows you can find on Amazon as well. My wife sewed up some Velcro in the back of some blackout curtains, and then made these curtains for the camper. But they're nice windows, RV style, kind of like the same low E that you would have in your house, but screens on each window. They lock. I've got two on the door side and one on this side here, and this window actually has a purpose that I'll show you here too. So this was the first one that we put in with intentions to have air conditioning in here, and I'll show you how I did that. So we didn't have many options to put AC in the trailer without having to cut a hole in the side of it for for an air window unit that you would use in your house. So we ended up going with the portable AC unit, and that slides in this cabinet down below. This is a 12,000 BTU AC unit. It's pretty oversized for this trailer, but it is, this trailer is a tin can, and only the roof at this point is insulated. So to hook up the exhaust, I made this wood panel. This is nothing fancy. This piece actually came with the AC unit as well as the hose, but I just had these screws and matched the screws up to the same holes that I have in the face for the window, and then hooked the AC up with the accordion. This does really well, except for when it gets about 90 degrees out, and then it just can't keep up. The next question a lot of people have is how to do a bed in one of these trailers and still be able to put a four-wheeler or something with the width that we have across there. So what we ended up doing was going with the Murphy bed style, but go the long ways. I've seen some trailers where people hang the bed up top and then drop it down below. This is a queen size bed. Once found with the measurements, that was how high off the ground we ended up being, which we're about 16 inches off the ground, which is pretty normal for a low bed anyway. But before I fold it down, I'll show you how I mount it to the wall. So up top, this just holds it to the wall for transport. So it's just a turnbuckle, super simple, with some D-rings into the upright of the frame. And then on this side, this is just a quick release one with this buckle here. So another D-ring, another eye bolt into the wood itself. So this is all constructed out of 2x3s and just regular plywood. So I'll go ahead and fold it down. So this is a 6-inch memory foam mattress that we ended up ordering through Target.com. Apparently 6-inch memory foam mattresses are kind of hard to find. It seems like the shortest one that you'll find is about 10 inches, but this one has held up pretty well over the course of 2 years, camping over a dozen times a year or so. Putting it back up is just as easy as taking it down. Underneath the bed we have this cargo net that helps store some of our other stuff. Got a couple camp mugs. Our pillows are stowed under there, and some riding gear. There's stuff that stays in this thing all the time. Straps. We've got riding jackets, shirts. Up front, miscellaneous cooking, camping stuff, some tools. Part of this that I always thought was neat. To try to make the best out of the space, we ended up adding this fold down desk. Legs stored in here. This is just a piece of threaded rod, a 1/4 nut washer, and then just add that as the support leg on the very far corner. So this is about 30 inches high, which is typical desk height. Right below a window, you can see outside. This is the wall for the cabinet. It's not quite finished yet. And then inside the cabinet, we have an old first aid cabinet I ended up getting from work that's got some miscellaneous smaller items in it. Some baby wipes for camp showers, whatnot. Some koozies for your cold beverage, spice rack, spices, whatnot. You keep a little Keurig in here. You can go through more of that stuff in a different video, but we also added a TV, just in case. We don't use it much, but there are days when we're camping that it's super rainy outside and just can't do anything. Keep an Xbox in the cabinet over here, just in case we can run DVDs and whatnot, watch some videos and just hang out in the trailer. Outside the trailer, I just have a 110 plug. That's plugged in. That's also off of Amazon. You can see the window out on this side. We also added these little magnets that hold these LED lights. They've got a magnet on the inside of them. So you can take it and put it there. It's got different settings, or if I'm loading at night or sitting behind the camper, we can use this one up here. So a couple different spots you can leave that in. When we first got the trailer, I had no 12-volt stuff in here yet for lights, and we ended up wiring in some of that 120-volt circuit. That junction box is where it comes in. Just runs over to one outlet. Wire comes over here. There's another outlet underneath for a mini fridge that's currently running, and then also comes up here to this, so we can turn that on. And then I have the LED rope lights. That was our first bit of lighting that we added in this thing. Don't use it a ton anymore unless we're plugged in and not really using any other power, but still probably will end up removing that once we start to do something with the walls. Haven't really decided anything with the walls yet. Motorcycle helmets in here in the bags that we have for them, and then carabiner up to a D-ring. That way, that's where they're stored. They don't go anywhere. They can't fall down when we're driving. That's something else that we just don't have to keep in the truck. All right, well, so there you have it. This is our trailer. If you are watching this and also going through the same kind of build or looking for ideas, leave a comment down below. Maybe something that you would change that I did. Leave a comment down below. Maybe an idea or questions that you have, feel free to ask. I'm happy to share this stuff. First of all, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just doing it as I go. So this is the fun part for me. The projects are what keep it interesting. So appreciate you all for coming and watching. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.